Hey, what's up, everybody? I am here at the Pearl booth at GearFest 2023 at Sweetwater. I'm here with Mr. Raymond Massey. This guy is a longtime friend. I've been checking out Amazing Drums with him for years. He's always at all these trade shows, and I just love to see him. I love to hear about the new products because that brain in there, they know these products well. So we're going to take you through some of the new kits. I mean, it's the high-end reimagined stuff. You brought, looks like everything.
Yeah, lots of new stuff. Always great to see you, Casey.
Oh,
and thanks for coming by. Always a pleasure.
Of course, yeah. So, first question. Everything behind us here and in front of us, what's the first kit that you would point out like your favorite out of the group here?
Oh, well, I would have to say our RF1.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've got so much brand new high-end and so much happening with the tom arms and the suspension system. So we've basically, let's start with RF1.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds. For those out there that knew regular reference and reference pure, we've kind of blended the two with the thin shell reference concept with die-cast hoops. Mm-hmm. The brand new R2R, your choice of either L-arms or traditional 7/8 tubing.
So I'm just going to say, this new reference is kind of like my ideal for me because I love the reference pure kit. That's what I have at home in the studio, Music City Custom. Such a cool experience, like designing in the process of the Music City Custom thing. But I love the die-cast hoops, and so the fat tones were great, but like die-cast, just like I have that on my Masters Maple Gum, and it just the feel of that, like you cannot compete with a die-cast hoop. So the fact that you guys took the reference pure and basically, you know, put on the die-cast hoops and kept the thinner shell. Like for me, that's a huge win because in the studio it sounds amazing, live it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love the single point lugs there as well. Like, I mean, just as little shell contact as possible, and it just looks so classy.
And that was our intent, you know, the low mass lug, the really, you know, let the shells, let everybody, the visual of the kit, and the die-cast add some upper harmonics and focus the tone. And we're really focusing on lacquer finishes this year. Mm-hmm. So not only with reference, and we'll get to the new masters, but we're stocking 5 different finishes in your choice of either L-arm or the traditional tom arm.
It looks so great. I mean, I got to experience one of the Reference 1 kits with J. Rod Sullivan in the studio, and the new mounts, they sounded great, and the kit looked incredible. His is the Purple Craze, which, I mean, that finish is just mind-blowing. That's really awesome. I see you got one of the Demon XR pedals down there.
Yes, sir.
We got the double pedal back here.
Yes.
What should we talk about next? There's so much to talk about.
Well, since we're on drums, let's finish up with masters. So we've streamlined our masters offering this year. We've got Masters Maple Pure, which is our 4-ply shell with 4-ply re-rings. And then we have our Masters Maple, which is 6-ply, 7.5 millimeter shell. So
it's
that's
the
like
thicker one, like
it's
MCX,
the thicker
right?
ones,
Yeah.
MCX or the old MLX. It's the ones that like Porcaro played back in the day. And then of course MMG. Mm-hmm. They all get die-cast hoops. They all get Remo USA heads. And again, your choice of either traditional 7/8 pipes or the L-arm. And
those all come with the R2R.
R2R, right? All the high end. And again, 5 unique finishes for each one of those 3 series.
Yeah.
And including RF1, they're all cross-pollinated. So if there's a finish you like in MMG that's not offered as a stocking finish for either Masters Maple Pure or RF1, you can special order it.
Okay,
but that's 20 stocking lacquer finishes.
Wow. Well, you're definitely going to want to order this finish.
Shimmer of
Shimmer of Oz is just
classic.
Phenomenal. Everybody's been coming in all day long, and they walk over this kit. And I've seen a couple of guys, I think, try and sneak out of here with it. So Raymond's been keeping an eye, though, keeping them from, getting out with the Pretty Masters kit, you know. So you got the Demon XR pedals on this kit, the double bass. I got to try them. I mean, where did those come from? It was like trying to create something that was more specialized for like metal players or fast players, or what's the idea?
Well, you know what? Not only metal players. It's kind of the way we like to think about it is, it's like it's almost like a chopper motorcycle. If you just took some stuff off of the regular Demon and just focused on what it takes to make this pedal really nimble, quick, light feeling, and it crosses genres.
Yeah.
You know, the speed metal guys, of course it'll do that job as well, but also, I mean, the funksters or just regular rock guys, you know, it's a very nimble pedal. It's an aluminum look. It's almost machine-like footboard. Comes with 2 sets of springs, a heavy-duty spring and a regular spring.
Heavy duty is like stronger tension, or like
stronger tension, a little bit bigger in diameter. You know, not necessarily harder to play, but just a really robust rebound. And it comes with an extreme beater, which is a flat surface. It gives you a nice attack, you know, with a full body low end punch off the drum.
I mean, that you know, you mentioned like, because when you see this pedal and you see the marketing, and you know, George Colias was involved.
He was involved
in helping make that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would think like metal, but we had such a variety of players play that pedal, and everybody was really impressed with it. And none of us were really even metal players either. You know, like I'm not much of a big metal player, and yet I sat down and I loved the feel of the pedal. And you know, there's power to it, but also that just nimble quickness, and to me that's the best of all the worlds right there.
It's just super smooth. We're so excited about this new Gyrolock L. With a single touch, you get 360 degrees rotation on the pipe. You get fore and after adjustment on the L arm, which a lot of L arms, you know, there's nylon balls, and after you set them for a while, they get an egg shape, and then you decide to change your setup, and all of a sudden it doesn't move as easy. But you can see how effortlessly this moves. It's got an index notch, single key bolt action, 12.7 millimeter rod, lifetime warranty.
That's big, because there's, you know, I've had a lot of tom arms that I've played at different various gigs and stuff, that from not to bash, but like, you know, other companies that maybe didn't do it quite so right, and you show up to the gig and you try and put your toms where you want them, and they just, you know, they're falling all over the place. They can't stay. And so the lifetime warranty on that piece of a kit that requires so much durability and may experience so much wear and tear over the years. I mean, that's one of the things I love about Pearl, man. You guys stand behind the products, and you know, you say you make them right to begin with, and then you stand behind them. So that's awesome.
That's right. Buy it once, play it for life. And just a couple of things to point out on this is, on the R2R, it only holds the drum from 4 points. It rests on the bottom of the hoop and the bottom of the lug, and moves the axis point to the center. And regardless of the rotation, this drum, I mean, we were just, in the development of this, we couldn't believe how much longer the sustain was. And sustain's a great thing. I mean, if you have it, you can control it. There's so many different kinds of heads and dampening techniques, but if it's not there, you can't really put it in. In the R2R, even with the drums, it comes with an adapter for triple flange hoops, little cones that sit in the top, and damper disc. And the damper disc basically just slide into the center 4 lugs, and the more you add, the shorter the note gets.
Okay, well, that's really cool. It's certainly, like, that was a good point, because I was actually having a conversation earlier today with someone who was saying, like, you know, why more sustain? Like, I don't need more sustain, I just need good tone, because they were talking about the new mounting system, and I was saying, like, yeah, you know, I think the structural integrity of the way that it's held, like in the center of the drum, I think that's a huge thing. But, like, you know, how much does it really affect the sustain? Like, until I personally A/B it, you know, like, take it off a drum, put something on there, I can't necessarily speak to it. But you guys have said that it, you know, it adds a lot. But the question was, like, why do you need more sustain? You're just going to dampen it. But that's the thing, is that if you want it, it's there, you know? Like, Sure, you can dampen it, and you might want to dampen it, and in many situations, you've even built in ways to dampen it, but what you're doing is you're taking away a situation where you are missing out on the tone of the drum that you could be having, whether or not you want it in a certain scenario. At least you got the option, and that's something that you can't say with other types of mounts or even previous, Opti mounts. Like they're great mounts, but if this ups the game and gives you that sustain that you could have if you want it, that's huge.
It's all about individual player preference control.
Yeah.
So you can dial in your tone exactly the way you want, and with all the different, like we were just talking about the heads and dampening techniques. It's control. It's a wide open area, space for you to shape.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so Raymond, take me through some snare drums here. I mean, we got Dennis Chambers' new drum. We got a new wood for the Stavecraft, right? Is that what's going on there?
Yes. Okay, so let's start with Dennis Chambers, legendary icon. We're so happy to have him in our family. What this drum is it comes, the last drum was made out of cast aluminum, and he decided he wanted to go back to wood. And this is the same shell that his original signature snare drum came in, the one that was in 136. It's a 4-ply maple shell with 4-ply re-rings. 10 lugs on top, 8 lugs on the bottom. The reason really cool. for that is it's almost, those vintage snare drums that had the 8 lugs on the bottom. It's a more open sound, and the bottom head doesn't require quite as much tension as the top, and the 10 lugs allow you to have full advantage of really cranking the drum up. It has a full range. It doesn't always have to be tuned tight and full body. One of the new features is the SR300. This is a triple strainer. It comes with 3 sets of snappy snares. You can adjust each individually. So you can adjust one loose, one medium, one tight. You can use them all at once or different combinations.
Oh, wow, that's really cool. I hadn't looked at the bottom. I assumed it was like 3 different materials, but it's 3 of the exact same strand. You're just able to fine-tune your snares, like buzz, based on those 3. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and it really sounds good when you've got one really, really tight and one slightly loose and medium. The breath of that snare buzz is beautiful.
I can't believe it. Like, I've never thought of how much better my life would be if I were able to do that, because I'm always like, man, really want my snare wires tighter, but man, I really want my snare wires looser. Now I can have them both.
Yeah.
Looser.
That's
a good word.
All right, and what we have up next is our new short fuse, new drum for the short fuse family. It's a 13 by 3.5, 1 millimeter steel shell. Very nice drum, easy add-on, wonderful. Comes in flat matte black. And this drum's really exciting. So new addition to the Stavecraft family is Ashwood. It's available both 6.5 and 5-inch depths. It's 25 millimeters thick, and it uses the dado joint technology, which is like a wooden joint in between the staves that help pull them together and keep them tight. Yeah. And the dado joint is the macaw wood, which is a very hard wood.
I actually have a Stavecraft 1465 that is the macaw, and so it has the Thai oak dado locks in between that, but it's the macaw shell, which it's such a cool drum. I mean, I have a hard time not keeping a clear head on the top because I just want to show off how beautiful it is, and it cracks, and it's got so much articulation, such a loud big sound too because of the thick shell. Love it.
Yeah, it's very wet and very crispy. Yeah.
Cool. And last, I think, we do have the professional series kit over there in the Maple at the Zildjian booth, which I will show off at the Zildjian booth as well.
You know what it is? There was a series called the Professional Series in the 80s. And it was, at that time, one of Pearl's high-end kits. It was a maple shell. Yeah. It had pinstripe heads that came on it. It had super hoop, too. Yep. And it was offered in some of the traditional colors that we're showing, sheer blue. And that's what that kit is a throwback to.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
so it's beautiful. It sounds great. You can with the pinstripes right out of the box.
It does sound good.
You know, it's definitely a step above session.
Okay, so it's considered a step above. Yeah.
It's kind of in between session and masters.
Okay, cool. It's something that, like, that kit over there, I've heard a bunch of people come in and sit down at it, and you know, with all the lovely kits in the room, how many compliments have come to that kit right there. Like, that tells you something, that you've done it right with that more accessible price point, and yet still the quality that, I mean, you want as a professional drummer, which the name right there works perfect for that. And
it's a thin ply maple, so it's a very warm and resonant sound.
Yeah, we also have an igniter snare on that kit, which I'm quite fond of that snare drum, and it sounds really nice. Lots of people have been playing it and having fun on it, and you'll see some video content on that here as well. And last but not least, an update to the Midtown, right?
Midtown update, yes sir. So now Midtown comes complete with hardware, a retractable boom stand, hi-hat, pedal, and a cymbal bass drum mount that's very robust. You've got a 10 rack tom, 13 floor tom, 13 5.5 snare drum, 16-inch bass drum, comes complete with throne. Optional case accessories you can get for the bass drum and toms, and we also sell a hardware bag that'll house all the hardware separately.
This is one of my favorite bags on the planet.
Oh, I
use this all the time, whether it's for hardware or sometimes I'll carry video tripods, lighting
cameras
stands, like just cables. I throw it in there, and it is like, it's not a hard shell case, but it has a hard construction to it in a lot of ways that really, I mean, to me, it's astounding, the durability of that case for like the price point, and for the fact that it's not like a real hard shell case, that it's like bulky and hard to deal with. So thank you so much. I love the Midtown kit. This like, it's crazy how good it is out of the box, you know, like it just, even without any sort of upgrades or even changing the heads, like there's a lot of punch, a lot of sound that comes from such a small kit.
Pure white matte red and asphalt matte black.
Asphalt matte black. Well, I like the matte black.
Matte asphalt black.
Matte asphalt black. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much.
All right, Casey.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming by, man. Always
Love
a pleasure
the drums.
to see you.
I'm gonna have to play some more. I'm just saying. Like, you guys are gonna leave, and you're just gonna find me here. You're gonna come back tomorrow morning. I'm still gonna be here playing. So
we're gonna be sitting here listening to you.
Oh man,
we love the
thank
way
you so
play.
much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Pearl booth, 2023 at GearFest here. Such a fun time we're having, and so many beautiful drums to choose from. Check them out. Link below.